Wait, stop scrolling. Ilia Malinin just posted his first ever YouTube video, and fans at Stars on Ice are already saying the second one is going to break the internet. Not a competition clip, not a highlight reel, a vlog. And if you've been paying attention to his social media this past week, you've already seen the signs. On April 15th, 2026, he uploaded a 1-minute, 34-second video. The title, "Welcome to my official YouTube channel." No skating, no jumps, no medals. Just him, sitting there, asking fans for content ideas, editing tips, vlogging tips. Within days, 264,000 people had watched it, and then the clues started dropping. We're talking about the most dominant figure skater on the planet right now. The guy who literally invented a jump no one else can land. The guy who wins world championships 3 years in a row. And now he's picking up a camera. No explanation, no announcement, nothing. Just a quiet caption that said, "Excited for this new journey." Fans lost it immediately. Within hours, people were pulling receipts. A TikTok clip of him holding a camera in the stands at a competition, captioned Ilia in his vlogging era. A photo of him backstage at an empty arena, hands holding what looks like a small action cam. A fan at Stars on Ice in Greenville, South Carolina, catching him filming during warm-up. Another spotting fellow Olympic skater Andrew Torgashev, filming him for a solid 10 minutes. The two of them, more than once, more than coincidence, just together with a camera. And one fan caught something specific, one very specific thing. During that 10-minute filming session, Ilia did 5 backflips, back-to-back, on the ice, with Andrew catching every single one on camera. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, everything is going to make sense. Let's rewind. His parents are both Olympic figure skaters, not just competitive skaters, actual Olympians. His mother Tatiana Malinina won the Grand Prix final in 1999. His father Roman Skornyakov competed at the Olympic level too, both representing Uzbekistan. Ilia didn't just grow up near skating, he grew up inside it, with 2 people who understood exactly what it cost. He started skating at 6 years old. In September 2022, he changed the sport forever. At a Challenger Series event, Ilia Malinin landed a quadruple axel, a jump where you rotate 4.5 times in the air and land cleanly on one blade. Nobody had ever done it in competition, in the entire history of the sport, until Ilia Malinin was 17 and just did it. Like it was a Tuesday. He gave himself a nickname after that, Quad God, and nobody argued. From 2023 onward, he didn't just win, he made competition feel almost theoretical. 4 straight US national titles, 3 straight Grand Prix finals, back-to-back world championships in 2024 and 2025. His winning margins were sometimes 50 points. Competitors stopped competing for first, they competed for second. That's not commentary, that's just the math. By the time the 2026 Milan Olympics arrived, Ilia Malinin wasn't just the favorite, he was the only story. And then, February 13th happened. He went into the free skate with a 5-point lead. This was supposed to be the coronation. He landed his first jump clean, and then everything came apart. The quad axel became a single. The quad loop became a double. Then he fell. Then he fell again. By the time the music stopped, he had lost 72 points to mistakes. He finished 8th, 14 consecutive victories, gone. More than 2 years unbeaten, over. In one 4-minute program, he skated off the ice and put his head in his hands. A few days later, he posted on Instagram. He wrote, "On the world's biggest stage, those who appear the strongest may still be fighting invisible battles on the inside. No spin, no damage control, just the truth." Then he went to Prague for the 2026 World Championships. And he won. For the 3rd time in a row. Because that's the other part of this story. The fall at the Olympics didn't define him. He came back within weeks and stood on top of the world again. Now, here's where the camera enters the picture. Because right after Worlds, right after all of that, something shifted. He didn't post another competition clip. He didn't announce his next season. He announced a YouTube channel. On April 15th, 3 days after arriving on the Stars on Ice US tour, the first video went live. And for anyone paying attention, the timing isn't a coincidence. Stars on Ice is a 6-week tour of the East Coast. The skaters travel on sleeper buses between cities. Every Olympic gold medalist from the US team is on it. Elisa Liu, Amber Glenn, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, Jason Brown, Isabeau Levito, Andrew Torgashev, a moving cast of the most decorated athletes in the sport, all in one tour bus, all in each other's pockets for 6 straight weeks. and Ilia Malinin just picked up a camera. Think about what that means. This isn't a competition season. This isn't pressure. This is the quietest, most alive moment he's had in years. No judges, no medals, no 1-4 event win streak to defend. Just empty arenas in the morning, lighting rigs being tested, skaters warming up in sweats, backflips done just for the sake of doing them. And fans at the shows have been reporting everything. A TikTok comment from someone who was at Greenville this week said, and I'm quoting, "I saw Andrew filming him during SOI warm-up yesterday, and he was filming for like a good 10 minutes too. And one thing he filmed was Ilia, doing like 5 backflips back-to-back, so I hope to see that." Another fan in the same thread confirmed, him and Amber have been vlogging. I saw Stars on Ice this week and Amber was vlogging a lot too. This isn't one vlog. This is a movement. So, what's actually on video too? Here's what we can piece together. Based on the footage fans have seen being shot, based on the locations he's been, based on what's happening around him, there's going to be empty arena footage. Early morning ice, the whole rink to himself, that specific quiet that only exists before a show. There's going to be warm-up content. Skaters stretching, running through numbers, the casual chaos of a tour that's been doing the same thing every night for 3 weeks. There's going to be Andrew, because Andrew has been holding the camera. And if Andrew's holding the camera for 10 minutes at a time, he's not just a friend. He's the unofficial videographer of this whole project. Expect cameos. Expect inside jokes. Expect the kind of friendship 2 Olympic teammates develop when they're the only 2 people in a 50-mile radius who understand what the other one's been through. There's going to be the Blade Angels, Amber Glenn, Elisa Liu, Isabeau Levito, the 3 most decorated U.S. women's singles skaters of the moment, and they're vlogging too. Amber reportedly commissioned Powerpuff Girls stickers of the 3 of them for fans. If that energy leaks into Ilia's vlog, it's going to be everything. And there's going to be the 5 backflips. Back to back. The signature move that he does once per show for the crowd reaction, done 5 times in a row in an empty arena just because he could. Because that's the other thing people forget about Ilia Malinin. He's not just an athlete. He's a 21-year-old with too much talent and too much energy, and finally, for the first time in years, enough time to actually have fun with it. Here's what strikes me about all of this. The last year of his life has been the most emotionally turbulent of his career. He went from being called the greatest of his generation to falling on the biggest stage in the world. He talked about invisible battles. He talked about pressure that was unreal. And now, in the quiet after the storm, he's picking up a camera and he's letting people in. Not through an interview, not through a PR team, through his own footage edited by him, posted when he decides with the content he chooses. For an athlete who has spent his entire life being watched, being analyzed, being scored, this is the first time he gets to control the frame. That's not a small thing, that's the biggest thing. Because Ilia Malinin is not careless. He didn't accidentally become the most dominant skater in history. He doesn't do things without intention. So when he starts a YouTube channel 3 days after arriving on tour, asks fans for editing tips, and quietly lets his Olympic teammate film him doing backflips at 10 a.m. in an empty arena in Greenville, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's writing his own story, in his own voice, for the first time. And maybe that's what this whole era is about. Not the views, not the content, but the choice. After a year of being told who he was, what he meant, what he'd failed at, what he'd become, Ilia Malinin is looking into a lens his friend is holding and saying, here's who I actually am. Here's what this actually looks like from the inside. So, here's what I want to know from you. What do you think video 2 is going to be? Are we getting the 5 backflips? A full tour day in the life? A collab with Amber Glenn? Or Elisa Liu? Or something none of us have predicted yet? Drop your theories in the comments. The best one gets pinned when the video actually drops. If this video gave you something, a like takes 2 seconds. Subscribe if you want to be here the moment video 2 lands, because I'll be breaking it down the second it's live. Because with Ilia Malinin, the story is never finished. The quad god is just getting started. And this time he's holding the camera.